Good morning, and welcome to the final episode of 1973 GMC Motorhome. This is episode 34. Right, Toady? I guess we never say never, but what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to go on our first camping trip of 2024. I've got some tasks to do today. There she blows. So Michelle just cleaned it all up. We're all in good order here. Floor's all nice and clean. All right, so motorhome is clean. And now we need to start loading things up. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put our new fantastic wind generator, inverter generator, into there. We're gonna store it in there because when we're planning on leaving on Thursday morning, it's supposed to be, the high is gonna be like 74, 75. We're not gonna need it sitting back there running, powering our rooftop AC. We're gonna be fine. So let me get it tucked in here and we'll have our inverter hooked up so if we need power quickly, we can just turn that on. Okay, so that's in there. It is a tight squeeze, but it fits. We had to leave these front things right off of there, but it's really not going back in there anyway. Okay, so now I gotta rearrange all these wires and strap this thing in and put all this stuff back in there. A little tie down to keep this thing from, normally I'm sitting in there with my head. All right, let's tidy up these wires here. Okay, we've got my bungee holding my generator in. Just kidding. We've got a tie down strap there holding that in, which I'm going to tighten up one more time. And we're going to close this up and that nothing should go anywhere. So that'll take care of that. Okay, next is to cut up some firewood and split this in half. And what do we got here? We got a million black ants all over the place. All right, well, I guess they're getting whatever all that white stuff is and they're taking it places now. Somebody can tell me what that's all about. It's turned into a nature show. Sorry, ants, but we're going to take your wood. I'll try to dump that stuff down there and maybe it's some kind of ant nest. The naturalists who are watching this can tell me what's going on there. Okay, so what I did is I left all these ants over here because I don't want to bring some ants somewhere where they're not already there. I mean, they look like black ants, but I don't know enough about, you know, whatever. We don't want to bring ants or any weird shit if we don't have to. So this wood, which was all back here, was ant free. There's no ants on it. So I just basically cut these pieces in half, made myself some chunks, and now I'm going to put it in that plastic bag and that's gonna be our wood. And we normally have, there'll be probably 2 nights with fires and that'll be plenty. We can grab some other stuff out of the woods too, so it should be fine. I just want to mention, because the older I get, the more I realize this. Now, granted, I just went out and bought a wind generator and I bought a Harbor Freight inverter, but this Husqvarna chainsaw I've had for over 20 years and it just keeps running and running and running, and it starts and it runs. Now, obviously that bar is new and, you know, I replaced the chain or sharpen it. Got an Echo weed eater. The commercial brand stuff will be better over time than the cheap crap. Okay, one trash bag full of wood. I'm gonna tie that up. I also love wheelbarrows with 2 wheels. I've got some back issues going on, and this way I don't have to, I can even film and push this wheelbarrow, but I don't have to worry about my spine twisting and all that. So look at that. Whoops. Anyway, that's a good thing. Okay. Actually, there's my fire pit and my wood in my fire pit. So, and of course, this will all be tied down. At the moment, we're just getting everything set. I guess I can still get up that ladder. So we got a bunch of shit to put up there. So anyway, that takes care of that. Guess I need to wash this thing off. Maybe I'll do that real quick. We can't be arriving in style when you're covered in pollen. All right, so now I've gotten all the green crap off of it. This is not a super hardcore wash job, but I just went around with the hose and the scrub brush, and you know, that green, what do you call it, pollen will eventually harden up and turn to mold. So there we go. See if we can get a full shot of it. There it is. Okay, so that looks better. Okay, now we're gonna work on the furnace. We'll turn that on. All right, that's showing there's gas in there now. Gas to the stove here. Air. Lots of air coming through the line. That's a lot of air. Kablam. It's got to be gas eventually. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we got gas coming through there. That big one, I guess, is what I should have used, because that has a lot higher flow. All right, so I just wanted to get gas to the stove. So that's good. Okay. So what you have to do here, you're going to press that, and then you can see the little spark in there. Oh, okay, and there is my pilot light. Now I got to hold this, because if I release it, it'll probably go out. Yep. So we got to hold it for a while, which I'm not going to film until the pilot is staying lit. And then we will turn on our thermostat. Nope, not yet. Okay, now pilot light is staying lit. It looks like a good steady flame. I also turned the gas on, which is up there. Put our cover back on here. You can't really see through that anymore, can you? All right, let's turn the thermostat on and see what happens. Okay. Let's see what's happening. Oh, I can see in there flame now. So, there's another thing that's amazing that works that's so damn old. Ah, and here comes a nice toasty air. Okay, so furnace, check. Okay, so that's running over there. And when I run this, by the way, what happens is we're going to be in the mountains. So in the morning, I come out here and take this off. There's a group of people sleeping right here who are freezing. I come out here and fire this up. I have the heat come right out here rather than blow through the vents underneath the bed, because they'll be on the bed. All right, so now it's getting awfully toasty in here. I'm going to turn this off. And then when I go like this, all right, that shut it off. Sometimes it keeps running. But now, I'm just curious to see if it's not too hot. It's a little hot. I can see the pilot burning in there. Well, is that the pilot? It is. Pilot's gone hot. So now what I'm gonna do is I've turned it off. I'm gonna turn the gas off to the furnace, and then I'm gonna turn the gas off to the outside. Okay, when I put the cover back on, the fan kicked on again for a second because I guess it got warm enough in there where it really should run for a second after the gas goes off. But I hadn't been running that long, so it wasn't hot enough. But once I put the cover back on, heat must have collected in there and it got warm enough so that ran. But so that's working good. Okay. I gotta stop doing that. Every time I start a new section, I say, okay. Let's turn this back off again. Now, that red line will come back when we run some gas out of there. Right now there's pressure in there. Anyway, gas is off, so we are good there. Lock this up. Okay, so now we've been loading for a day or so. Well, really just yesterday. Got a refrigerator running. As you can probably hear, it cycles on and off. It's all full of food in there, yum yum. There's the bed back here that's made. We were resting in it yesterday because it's just fun to lie back in here. So that's the bed looks like. We got some guitars under there. Bathroom. Michelle put a nice little cozy carpet in there, and there's bath stuff. This will all have to be probably put on the floor before we travel. Smells. She's cleaned everything. It smells great. And then all these are full. Not gonna open that closet. Let's see if she's done anything here yet. Oh yes, that's all loaded up. Yeah, she does. It's amazing. All right. So what we're gonna do is we gotta load up our Coleman stove and our fuel and our logs, and figure we might as well just put them in there with the propane so that everything flammable is all in one area. Actually, it's gonna go back here. So, but we have other buckets and things to put. This is our rail, which we saw yesterday. So let's see, we've been plugged in, haven't been having any electrical issues. We ran the AC all yesterday while it was being loaded. Okay, it's 6:41. Get ready to go this morning. What we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect. You see the refrigerator is on. We're going to unplug our power, and the refrigerator should kick over to 12 volts. And we get to coil up this cord. All right, now let's see if the refrigerator clicked over. It's good that the compressor wasn't running. That way it's not like a weird load. Yep. Okay. So that's that. 12 volts, so the systems are working. All right, time to open this thing up. I always get that slightly jittery feeling before we go. It's very exciting, and also you really want to make it to where you're going. All this preparation. We've got just food, we got all our clothes packed, Refrigerator stuffed. Drinking water down there. Tons of drinks. Box wine, can't forget that. So, almost ready. I'm gonna check the airbags and level them out. Look like a little bit like they might be able to use a little bit extra. We put a ton of weight in this thing. That's all full up there. So I added about 10 pounds to this side. It was 70 pounds, now it's 80 pounds. And the whole camper sitting level now. The other side was at 80 pounds. All right, let's get out of here. Imagine if it's the 70s and you're a kid, your parents wake you up at 5 in the morning and go, come on kids, and you crawl back in this bed here and you just go back to sleep. There's that pile of stuff on the back there. That would be pretty cozy to be able to sleep in there while you're driving along.
Action!
So here we are. We're headed to DelFest now. We've just gotten on the road, been on the road about 10 or 15 minutes. There's the road in front of us. We've got about an hour and 40 minutes or so to drive. Behind the camera is our friend Helen. She's with us here.
Woohoo!
And then over there is Michelle, sitting on the couch. So, fingers crossed, here we go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent driver. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Well, we're at the Sidling Gap rest area. We just came up. This is always a monster hill. It's basically, I guess maybe it's 1 or 2 miles, but it's just straight up at a grade. And we actually went about 70 miles an hour. Well, that's not true. The speedometer said 70, so we were probably going 60, but I think with that rear end, it worked well. So, anyway. You know, for this mountainy driving, it's really important to have the final drive. Mountains, mountains, mountains. Crossed all those mountains to get here. Okay, we made it to Allegheny College where we're checking in. You can see the line of people all parked. Knock on wood, no fuss, no muss. There's a big bunch of people up there. All right, we're gonna get in line. Well, we made it. I must say, this thing ran like a champ. It was smooth. I think the new distributor that I put in there works a lot better. The other one, for some reason, was always knocking, no matter how I adjusted the timing. You can see I've got my air conditioning running up there. Let's see what it's hot. So we're in there now, it's nice and cool in there. But let's see what we're using for inverter. The inverter fan just came on. But we're not using all the 5,000 watts, so we seem to be pretty good. Our battery level is probably right at 12, so maybe we're getting ready to run out of juice. I don't know. We've been running it for probably 40 minutes, so we'll have to just keep an eye on it.
I tried so hard I couldn't divorce her. The reason that she's gone, I guess I'll never see. Here's what I never offered, like money, things, and diamonds and rings. And though I never gave it, I almost bought it, almost told her so.
There's the CSX train. Get a little more filled in here. We're hoping these spaces will remain open for our friends later. So we'll see what happens there. We got generator ready to go for some AC before tonight. It's just really great we made it here, and the thing ran so good. I still can't believe it, because after all the work you put into these things, you know, then when you take them on a trip, obviously that's what you're doing it for, but it's always nerve-wracking. But a guy told me recently, he said, trust your work. So that's what I do, and do it the best I can, and that's the best you can do. So I'm just absolutely thrilled to be here right now, and I'm so happy that the camper made it. Cozy bedroom. Outside light there.
After I've been holding you so close to me, hope that old stairway you or the climb to a lonely room to wait for another place, another time.
That's not the good part.
Tuna steaks. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. This is the part that's fun. Yes, there is a light in there. So this is the, I don't know how much more of this I can film, but this is a kind of a mess. But this is the reason that we do this, so we can come out with our friends, hang out in a wonderful environment. There's everybody hanging out. It's just great. We just love this motorhome. We just love it. And I would encourage, if anybody, to find one of these things and put the effort into it, and you will just be so happy, because they are happy when you fix them, and they will treat you well.
Who you gonna come home to see? Better take a long look inside. Re-examine your appetite. There's a whole lot of air out there to breathe. Might choke yourself on your knees, trying to be free. What you need? Oh, what you need?
taking a little nap. The air conditioning's on. It's just running off the solar panels and the inverter. I'm hearing the new inverter fan kick on every once in a while. Most of the air comes out there and it blows it right down the hall into this room, so I'm getting nice cool air. So that's what I'm doing now. It's very pleasant. It's about 85 outside.
We can handle. She said I fell in love with you because you're strong. She told me God won't give us more than we can handle, but at least we got each other if I'm wrong. We saved the dog, then we decided we should save the kids too. Now we're floating on a log. My feet on the ground. If I lose my baby, I'll tell you where they can lay me. Set me down on a cloud with my soul turned inside out. Well, they fixed me up good, but my heart's still bleeding.
That's the schedule for today. It's Sunday. It's already the last day. Unbelievable. So a lot of good music today. This thing can just run all day. We're just not even hurting our battery. Refrigerator's so nice and cold and running day and night on that one battery in our charging system. Yum. Everybody's down in the field. They're starting to fill up. This is the first act of the day. It's Sunday. It's going to be Del and some other inquiries and some traditional gospel stuff. Should be good.
Down.
This particular banjo is used to belong to Sonny Osborne, one of my banjo heroes, and in my opinion, one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever. And he had this made back in, I think, 1998. And he played this one. He had a lot of banjos, but he played this one quite often. And he started selling these things, getting them made and selling them. But this is the prototype. This is the very first one they made. And I played this thing for a couple years, not too long after he had got it. And after his passing, his son contacted me and he said, "Hey, I got something for you."
They don't have a soul like a Vincent 52. And he reached for her hand and he slipped her the key. Said, "I don't have any further use for thee." I see angels on tails in leather and chrome, swooping down from heaven to carry me home. And he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride.
Your life, it ain't so simple. Your life, it ain't so kind. Yes, life can lead you somewhere beyond.
inside the camper. Rainstorm in the middle of the Sierra Feral set. I have my bike, so I got back here and closed the windows. Let's see. Our outside window on. It's all nice and toasty in here. I'm gonna go under the thing that is to be sociable. Let's turn on a couple more lights in here. All right, again, this beats the heck out of a tent. So here we all are sitting in the camper because it's pouring rain. This is our little group, and we're having a very nice time even though it's pouring rain. Well, what a mess. It was pouring rain when we packed up this morning, but we got everything in and we're headed home. We were just at the gas station filling up with gas. Yes, it's a mess, but it's nice to just be able to chuck everything in something and go home and sort it out later. So that's what we're doing. We had a great time. We stayed nice and dry in the many rainstorms that we got, and it was great. Now we just got the drive home, and let's see how that does. I checked the oil this morning. I had not burned one drop of oil. I shouldn't say that because we're not home yet, so I'm trying to find a surface to knock on. There we go. So, but the whole point in building this camper was to be able to take it to events like this. And so far, we haven't made it home yet, but I think we will. But it's performed flawlessly, and it's just been a real pleasure to spend time in, and it makes all the effort seem worthwhile. Take a little pit stop. There's a statue down there. Frederick College Avenue. Pretty fancy area. Ta-da! Here we are back home. What a nice smooth trip. So in the end, the camper performed excellently. It's been great. Well, we're all done camping. Most everything's cleaned back out of here. Still got to arrange these blankets and stuff. It was a very great, fun trip. And so, I probably won't be making any more of these videos for a while. I have a couple other projects. We need to put well, let's see what our projects are. This window here, I have a later one that's the full half window. That's going to go in there, and I'm going to repaint around the window on the outside. And one of the reasons I'm going to do that is because I still need to remove this dinette, and where that wire had burnt, which I repaired temporarily, I still need to run it up under, do that correctly, and then there's a little spot on my floor there that's funny, and I'm going to fix that. So that's going to be project one, will be to replace the window and to fix the wire. That's all in one. Project two is to get a sensitized brake booster to basically make the brakes feel better. I'm going to try that first because those are relatively inexpensive. The brakes work fine on this vehicle. I did not have any problems, but I feel like in order for, when you're coming to a hard stop, you have to push harder than you would in a normal car. It stops, but I figure if Michelle drives it, or I just don't feel like mushing on the brake pedal so hard, maybe one of these sensitized boosters will help. And I feel like it's working exactly as it should. I mean, in most situations, you don't have to press that hard. It's only in the harder stop situations. And so that's just an improvement I'd like to make. I'll try one of those sensitized boosters. And then if that doesn't do it to my satisfaction, they do make rear disc brake kits, which I would like to put on one of these. That's a lot of money, but this whole thing is a labor of love. So just have to sell some more garbage out of the garage. And so that could be a future project. This was an air conditioner that I got when I was putting the whole coach back together that works, but it draws a lot of amps. It's much older. So higher efficiency AC for the back here would be nice. And another project, these two lines here, the previous owner ran them up over the roof and down. I'm not sure why this hole is even here. Maybe it had something to do with that. But and they blew off underneath here, one of them during a camping trip. And it was an easy fix. I just went under there and pulled out all this. And I think I'm going to be able to add a picture, so you may have already seen it. And slid it back on, added a hose clamp, no problem. Minor camping glitch. That was really the only issue during the whole trip, but I'd like to convert that to PEX and do my copper line conversion where I bring it up to a full 1/2 inch. But despite all these things that are projects that can be done in the future, this camper did really, really well. And it was a pleasure to drive. We just went right down the road, no problem. Up the hills, no problem. Everything that I've done, the final drive, the intake manifold, the new distributor actually works better than the older HEI. The older HEI I always had trouble with knocking because probably the vacuum advance was advancing it too much. This current unit I have works flawlessly, works great. So I think that we are pretty much done for the near future. Those tires look fine, but there's a little bit of dry rot checking in between the treads, so I need to replace those. Again, not the greatest in terms of having to spend money, but needs to be done. This paint here, I need to finish wet sanding. So if I get bored, I'm not going to be bored because there's plenty of work to do. But at this point, we've got a running, driving camper. At this point, I can get in it and go wherever we want, and everything will work fine. And the improvements that need to be made can kind of be done at my leisure. Maybe the tires are really the first thing that I should do, since that is a safety issue, and that is not super work intensive. It's just money. So I guess we'll see you camper people at some point. I'm going to go back to working on my farmhouse, which hopefully I will get a permit for at some point. The permit process is unbelievably ridiculous. Anyway, it's been fun getting this camper done, and there will still be more videos. They'll just be fewer and farther between. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.